All right, so steady state cardio versus high intensity interval training. Two different cardios. I like them both. There's no one better than the other. Um, you know, they both have their pros and cons. They're both versions of cardio. Steady state cardio first. That's just straight low to moderate activity, basic treadmill, elliptical type of stuff, where it's just low to moderate activity for a set amount of time, very, very controlled. That's probably the most measurable if you're, trying to cut body fat and do things like that. That's probably going to be the most measurable. If you add it with resistance training, results will still come just as fast. Steady state cardio, we always want to go by the talk test. You should go by your heart rate. You should know your heart rate zones and what that fat burn zone is. But a rule of thumb, if you're not going to go through all that, the Google research and everything like that, if you're not going to do that, just good rule of thumb is the talk test. You should be going through your cardio, and you should never be so where you can't hold a conversation. You should never be that out of breath where you can't hold a conversation. You should always be able to just kind of, you know, do your thing and kind of talk, and every once in a while give a little, and then we're right back to it. It's low to moderate activity. That's what the body will use fat stores as energy during low to moderate activity. So that's steady state in a nutshell. Measurable, targeted fat loss, and not too taxing. You can do it on a rest day. They call it active rest day if you feel like doing some extra cardio. So that's steady state. High intensity interval training. That's something where you're jacking your heart rate up through your chest, just to kind of cool down in that fat burning zone. That's muscle intensive type of stuff. You're thinking battling ropes, slam balls and sled pushes and things like that. Those are the type of things that really, really get that heart rate jacked. Use muscles while you're doing it. Think of a cheetah, trying to catch his meal, right? He's going to use all his energy at one shot to catch that meal. He's not a long distance guy, right? That's kind of high intensity. So when we're doing high intensity, the idea is to jack our heart rate up to the max. So with our heart rate, we have 3 zones. Zone 1, you're not doing too much of nothing. Zone 2, low to moderate type of stuff, cardio stuff. Zone 3 is, your heart's coming through your chest. You're getting jacked. You're damn near hitting that max, your heart rate max. What we want to do with high intensity is we want to go balls out as hard as we can. We want to put our heart rate in zone 3 all the way up to the top, and then get that nice 2 to 3 minutes rest in the cool down zone, right? In that fat burning zone. Why this is beneficial is, one, it's muscle intensive. Two, when we're jacking our heart rate up to zone 3, our body can't do these things, with the lack of oxygen. It has to borrow from different energy systems because of the lack of oxygen. And when it does that, it kind of creates this oxygen debt. Now, when you leave the gym after you're done, all throughout the afternoon, your body has to repay that debt and get back to the nice balance. All that takes calories. So you got the post-oxygen consumption happening after that. And that's why a lot of people like high intensity over steady state. That's why scientific studies show it's a lot more beneficial. That's the gist of it. Again, some people don't like it because of the muscle burn. Some people think, it burns too much muscle. If it's less measurable, right? And they're scared of losing the muscle. So they kind of stick with the steady state. It's your preference. They're both good. I mix them in, both of my routines. Whatever I feel for that day, that's what I'll do. So some days I'll do resistance. It's always resistance training based. And then, I might throw in some high intensity. Maybe I'm in a rush. I might do some tire flips or something. Or, I might do, if I have time, I might do 20, 30 minutes on the cardio machine, just a walking pace. So it all depends on you. But that's pretty much high intensity in a nutshell and steady state in a nutshell.